KC Masterpiece is my homemade barbecue sauce. The sauce didn't come out of the laboratory, it came out of my kitchen. I had bought about all the commercial sauces there were available, and frankly, none of them really satisfied me. I began buying all kinds of spices. I came up with the garlics and the peppers and the tomatoes and the molasses, and with good old trial and error and work in the kitchen, eventually I came up with what I really felt was a masterpiece. KC Masterpiece. This is one sauce that lives up to its name.
When clothes were stained so bad, but come out looking so good.
You know it makes me wanna shout, kick my heels up and shout how I feel now. Shout, throw my hands up and shout, come on now.
Now Shout's improved with 25% more cleaning power to get tough, greasy stains out. Better than spray and wash. Better than ever.
You know it makes me wanna shout, feel so proud now. Shout, sing it out now. What a tough stain out. Shout, shout it out.
Looking for a brand of soft contact lens solutions that won't cause thimerosal problems? Now there is one. All thimerosal-free Murine soft contact lens solutions, not problems.
When the heat is hard to take, cool it down and take a break. Take the nesty plunge. Take the nesty plunge.
Tonight, join National Geographic for the historic flight of Voyager.
Well, this is the big one, right?
It's a record-breaking flight around the world, non-stop. Witness an impossible dream come true on Explorer, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Superstation tonight.
We hope you've enjoyed the Superstation movie presentation, Catlow. Tomorrow night, let's all go to the hoop when the Atlanta Hawks meet the Boston Celtics head-on in NBA playoff action. 8:05 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow night.
What a bummer. I borrowed my mom's new party dress and I got mustard on it. Karen said she could get it out.
My mom uses this all the time, trust me.
It was still there. What am I going to tell my mother? Mom was upset.
Oh, my dress.
How should I know the dryer would set that stupid stain in? But it wasn't too late.
When some other detergents leave behind some really tough stains, Tide can get them clean.
Great. Except I won't be wearing the dress for a while.
When it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide.
Even people who love potato chips are surprised at how good Keebler's new Oh Boise's taste.
Oh! Oh Boise's are oh boisterous.
They're bubbly, crackly, roisterous, so full of Idaho potato taste. Oh Boise's are oh boisterous.
New from the Keebler Elves, Oh Boise's potato snack chips in original and sour cream and onion. So bubbly, crackly, so Idaho potato-y, you'll say...
Glorious, notorious, delicious, and uproarious. They're Keebler's new Oh Boise's and
Oh Boise's are oh boisterous.
Sports are unpredictable, memorable, and so are the no-holds-barred conversations on the sports page. Join me, Craig Sager, on the sports page, 11 Eastern on the Superstation, tonight.
In the tradition of National Geographic magazine, welcome to National Geographic Explorer, bringing you the world's greatest adventures every week. On this edition of Explorer, head for Australia's final frontier. Wild terrain and crocodile hunters bring a spirit of adventure to Cape York. Then visit the sacred monkeys of India. Hindus believe they're the descendants of a god. Listen to the legends of a painter and puppeteer who's putting new life into old tales. Unlock the secrets of deep-sea vents, unique habitats for creatures that never see the sun. And break aviation's last great barrier with a heroic crew of Voyager. It's all ahead on National Geographic Explorer. Explorer is brought to you by Acura Legend and Integra. Precision-crafted performance exclusively at your Acura dealer. Rude. Rude is air conditioning. And Master Care Car Service by Firestone. Finally, taking care of your car is no big deal.
Hello, and welcome to National Geographic Explorer. I'm Tom Chapin. The few residents of Australia's Cape York Peninsula share one unpaved highway, plenty of space, and a pioneering spirit. It's the continent's last frontier, a place of crocodile trappers, gold prospectors, and aboriginal trackers. The territory is rugged and remote, but most of its citizens wouldn't have it any other way. The peninsula is so close to New Guinea that it has some of the same plants and animals, but the human inhabitants seem a breed apart.
Rising from the eastern shoulder of Australia, Cape York Peninsula pushes north toward New Guinea like an arrow. A mix of woodlands and pockets of tropical rainforest. 140 years ago, a man named Edmund Kennedy led the first party of white men into the wilderness. Kennedy was killed by the Aborigines. In the intervening years, others have come here, but only a few. They live isolated, unpredictable lives, like Robbie Bredel, a professional reptile collector. The peninsula was the first part of Australia to be discovered and is among the last to be settled. Although it's over half the size of California, only 20,000 people live in the heart of it. They know the bush. They have to. In different ways, they earn their living here. The latest among generations of pioneers. A great part of the peninsula's 76,000 square miles is open woodland, dry and hot most of the year. A tough country to live in, but it suits those who do. The frilled lizard makes its home here. So do cattlemen. They came to the peninsula at the end of the last century, drawn by the open land. The wide open space appeals to the owner of Olivale Station, Colin Ferguson.
Some people don't like to be confined to small areas and others like a bit of open space. I like to go for a canter and not hit the boundary fence.
Most of the country is unfenced, but in the stockman's view, it's a developing country, for the older cattle properties were pioneered almost 4 generations ago. People claim a partnership with the land.
Type of people that live fairly close to nature because they've got to. If you tried to buck nature in the peninsula, you'd soon go crazy. And you'd soon go broke as well.
We who are witnessing this marriage between Barry and Barbie.
The years have forged a community here. People may see their neighbors only on occasion, but there are ties that bind them. The peninsula is home, and they are true to it, for they keep reuniting.
Take the Barbara Winifred Maybell.
To take the Barbara Winifred Maybell.
To be my lawful wife.
To be my lawful wife.
Much of peninsula history is the history of a few families. Joyce Harper knows them all.
In the peninsula, there's possibly 10 to 15 families. Is the Shepherds, they're a very big family. Then there's the Calligans, the Costellos, the Taylors, the Gordons, then the Savages, the Armrosses, and they've all sort of married into one another, you know, like families reuniting through, say, 3rd generation is now marrying in a 4th generation.
Some people have come hundreds of miles to the wedding. Distances and the isolation it imposes mean very little. Cam Quartermain.
Yeah, we're about, we're probably 50 miles from the nearest person around us, but it's not, you don't really gauge it as loneliness up there. It's, you know, we've got all the comforts of home, really. You know, they're not comforts that other people in big cities would appreciate, but, you know, we appreciate them. We like the bush. I like the isolation anyway. It doesn't worry me in the least.
road train is a feature of the Australian outback. It carries food, fuel, machinery. It makes isolation possible. In the peninsula, there is one unpaved main road. The developmental road runs north-south for some 500 dusty miles. The first white men to come in numbers to the peninsula were gold miners. They came first to the Palmer River in the 1870s, to one of the biggest gold strikes the peninsula would ever know. Bob Hyland is the son of a Palmer River miner. At 75, he is alone, but still mining, working alluvial gold on Spear Creek. His father was a miner first, tried sugar farming, but went back to mining. It was the beginning of a family history.
Talk was there was more money in growing sugarcane than in gold mining. So he decided to go sugar farming. And he knew very little about sugar farming. So he didn't get a very good farm. He bought a farm. He didn't get a very good farm, and he didn't grow very much sugar. He was cut out to be a gold miner, not a sugar farmer. I would say, it'd be probably 5 pennyweights of gold there, about $150 worth.
Bob Hyland is unusual, not because of his age or his methods, but because in terms of his own contentment, he has made so much out of so little.
You don't mine gold for the money you make because there's a lot of other things you could do much better. But there's something about gold, it's just attractive. It's just got an appeal. I suppose once you've been mining, once you've been working gold, it seems to, you don't want to do anything else. You just like working gold. I get an army pension, but I could live without it. I could get enough gold to. My watts are very simple. I could get enough gold to keep myself. But I like the bush, and never lonely. And I'll tell you another thing, the campfire is company. You ask any bushman that, as long as he's got that campfire, he's not lonely. It's company. It's a satisfying way of living, working gold. It's very satisfying.
There are few roads and fewer towns in the peninsula's vast interior. Halfway down its length is Iron Range, a looming stretch of rainforest that once was an active gold field. The tropical forest is the exotic face of the peninsula. The close green world is as tangible as the heat. There is a postman at Portland Roads. Ross Pope knows the extent of the wilderness as few others do.
Being a postman in the area, which is vast at possibly 1,500 to 2,000 square miles, of probably 20 inhabitants and possibly 30 more around on the coastline. And this is the only pocket of civilization for 100 miles in either direction along the coast.
Although empty of people, the forest has seen generations of pioneers. Ross